Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Today we have much in the package. We please, as you're joining, hit the share button. Hit your share button so that we put everyone together. Hit your share button as you join, please. Hit the share button. Today we're gonna go a little bit about what has been going on in the struggle, and we're gonna talk a little bit how our infrastructure, our institution, our people has been this silent and gradual dilapidation of our resources. And when you see people coming to talk about peace today, they never mention any of these things, because they bring peace in front, but they don't tell you that we don't more have any airports. Okay, we don't more have any infrastructure left. All the infrastructure that we had are all gone. Okay, whenever anybody tell you anything about that, ask them, where are those our airports? Where are those our seaports? Where are our infrastructure? Where are those our banks? Where are those our companies that we used to have? Where are those? Where is marketing board? Where is our infrastructural PWD, people works department? Where are our mobile wing police? Where are all those infrastructure that we used to have? Okay, we are a people that the Southern Cameroon, we had our own independence, we had our own boundaries, we had everything as a country. La Republique, number one goal was to gradually wipe out our people, wipe out our identity, wipe out anything that we had. Okay. When we have groups like NCNC, that was created in 1995, is still today vibrant. La Republique wanted to wipe out everything NCNC before 2016. Okay, that's how we have to give credence to people who have been in this struggle before us, because what they have been fighting, okay, they have been fighting for. They were even begging the La Republique government, the Biya government, they begged the Aijo government to return in the federal system. Okay, imagine, they were begging to restore that independence through joining in 1961. They were begging to go back into that system where they know that we had everything controlled by ourselves. Okay, today we have a system that we are trying to put in place, but if people don't read what we had before, the kind of system our parents built, the kind of infrastructure that we had, the kind of institutions that we had before, people only think we want to restore, we want to be recognized, but we have to put all those things in place. We have to remember all those things, right? We cannot have a country built without a solid rock. We can't have that kind of country. We want to have a country that we know we can say, okay, this is our country, this is what we had, right? If you see our institution that we had, we had our airport. Okay, look at this. This is Tico Airport. This is 1960. You see the funds of the Bamenda grassland in Tico Airport coming you see, they were using our own airports. We did not have to go through Douala, have to go through Yaoundé, or have to go to Bafoussam, we did not have to do all that, right? Today we see this happening because it is just the handiwork of La Republique, right? They want us to use their own system, their own things that they had, right? But we can continue to use their infrastructure because we had ours, right? They intentionally dilapidated our infrastructure, intentionally. Okay. In 2016, when you saw the mobilization of our teachers, our lawyers, and they went to the street in 2016, the government ignored them, right? They did not have any power. They don't have any rights to go and march. Who are they, for God's sake, to go and march? The government were asking, like public government asked, who are these rats to go out and march? Remember, in 2016, even though these teachers went out, the lawyers went out and marched, they were even trying to talk with the government. Okay? The movement that were trying to demand the return to a federal model that existed in 1960 to 1972. That was what they were trying to do at that time, because they knew that they had something at least to discuss with the government, right? When Pakistan declared all those, what happened? The government did not listen. La Republique thought that using the military tactic, they will challenge the people of Ambazonia. They would just like 2 cubes of sugar, like they said. But this is 8 years, 7 to 8 years going, right? The people of Ambazonia are still standing strong. The ghost town initiated by Pakistan and the consortium 7 years ago is still strong and vibrant today. To tell the people, to tell the Republic government that that this is not that their generation. No. This is not that their generation. Yes, they have to face a different generation this time around. That's what we are telling them, and they have tested it, and they have seen it that the people of Ambazonia are not the same. The generation is not the same generation they thought they will face. I want to bring this because look at our own police force that we had, right? The police force that we had back then were very, very well constructed. Until today, till date, the La Republic government is still using the Ambazonian Southern Cameroon Police School in Mutengene. You see, those guys were trained by the British. You see the uniforms; they were all like clean and British. The La Republic government were, they were very, very jealous about the mobile wing police. Okay, that's why today the police system, the police training, the police, everything is still the British system. That's why if you want to go for police training, they have the biggest police training school is in Mutengene. That is how that's why you see till today you can talk about the mobile wing, you can talk about all those. But that is a good lesson that we have to learn, that we were not just coming from a blow, right? We had an institution, we had a government, we had all those. Okay. But what happened along the line? The SDF party, that was initiated in 1990, was with Niger Frundi and all these other people who were there. They had that idea of going back to the federal system. That's why today the modus operandi or the motto, the mission of the SDF party is still federal system. They want to still go back to 1972. Okay, but all along the years, even in 1992 when Frundi won the election and Biya never handed the power to him, all those things till today, the SDF have become a like a no-go zone party, because they have no say anymore. Okay, all what they're doing now, all what SDF is doing now is just to help the La Republic government. Okay, this SDF party, imagine what happened. The SDF party was just there, the powers of the SDF party was curtailed when most of the members of the SDF party were killed. We see on this screen, I'll tell you that most of these people were silenced. Mbandam was killed. Professor Honorable Kemende, this is the other one who is a lawyer. All these people were silently eliminated by La Republic. And when you come today, you see what we are talking about. La Republic will silence every person that want to stand up against them. Okay, La Republic will silence anybody that want to stand up, and that is why we have seen this trend going back and forth. Okay, people will ask, why is this happening? But if you go back a little bit, you see the trend of event. Okay, and there are people who say they are fighting from within. You cannot fight La Republic from within. No way. You saw the recent corrupt charges. You saw all these things that is going on within La Republic, right? We are not recognized as a people. Look at what happened to between the various protests, or if you look at protests, look at even the killings done by La Republic, you see a total contrast. Our people have no value to them. When you see the way these people kill our people, then somebody just have that mindset to come and tell us of peace. Come on, what peace do you want when somebody is killing your people like that? From 2016, imagine the gruesomeness, the scorched-earth policy of La Republic. If you have that mind to really come and talk without thinking of what has happened, then you are not really serious. Because what we have seen in the past is terrible. That's why when somebody come and talk of this and that, we just laugh, because that person does not even know what happened. Does not know what happened in this few time to most of our people. They don't know. Because if you know, you won't come and talk about peace. Okay? Yes. We are gonna have a show tomorrow with on ABS TV. Okay, that show will be on the speech that President Chris Anu will come and say about the way forward. There's a special announcement, and we have some coalition of leaders that are coming together and forming, and that's what we want. We want this coalition of leaders, those leaders that the groups that we have identified, they'll be coming together to form a very solid foundation. Okay, so we are hoping that all these leaders will come and they will have a very powerful voice. That's what we want. Okay, when we talk of a coalition of meaningful coalition, that's what we are talking about. Okay, we have been in this struggle for the past years, and we have seen that most people, all those people who say they want to be a stand-alone group, they have not succeeded. All right, they have not succeeded. Okay, that's why when you see we talking about some leaders that think that they can be one-man soldier, you can never be a one-man soldier in this struggle and you succeed. Even back in the days, there were many groups. NCNC, all these SCAPO, the Republic of Ambazonia, yes, Republic of Ambazonia. Those are groups that existed long ago. But did they succeed? Ask yourself. No, because most of them do not want to work as a team. Most of those groups, they never succeeded because they wanted to work as a one-man soldier. Now we have learned that lesson. People are still bringing that mindset in this struggle today. They're trying to bring that same mindset. Even though we don't want to call names, but sometimes we have to call people who they are, what they are trying to do that has not been working. They still want to do the same thing over and over, and they think that it will, it's going to work. Let me start with Dr. Sako. Okay, when we were with Sako never wanted to work with any group. Okay, whereas before the interim government came, there were already groups that existed. You can't say you won't work with NCNC. NCNC existed long. NCNC was created in 1995. You just come with the interim government of recent. You say you don't want to work with groups that existed long before you even came. Does that make sense? In the first place, it doesn't make sense. We are talking of the coalition of the of the willing coalition, that something, when you bring people together, you make the struggle becomes stronger, right? You can say, oh, you are the alpha and omega, you are the best, you are the one that can do and undo, you can do. No. We are talking of that coalition of people that really want change, because those people who don't want change are the people that will always say, no, I don't want this. Okay, we want Ambazonian leaders who want to bring change. That's who we want to work with. This guy is just... yeah. So, yes, I was saying about that. Okay. We are talking of coalition of the willing, because when Comrade Chris is going to come tomorrow, he's going to outline that's what we have been talking within the cabinet, and we know that there are groups that the number one goal of Comrade Chris Anu was to unite all the leaders. Okay, and when you unite people like that, it's good, because there's a shared interest, there's a shared responsibility. Okay, people have this role, you have this role. It even lessens your body. Leadership is not about you doing everything. Leadership is how you can handle different multitasking, and how you can assign responsibility to other people, and how you can manage that kind of relationship. That's leadership. Leadership is not about you being like a King Kong, Mr. Know-all, one-man soldier. You be the CIC, commander-in-chief. You want to do everything, whereas you don't know anything. Okay, even the president of the United States will tell you, he will consult other party leaders, they will consult other groups, they will consult parastatal organizations before they make their decisions. Those things matter. Okay, you can't be a one-man soldier in any society. Okay, you talk to your advisors, you talk to the various cabinet members, you talk to those parastatal groups, civil society organizations, you talk to all those. That is how a country is run. You cannot just say you are you are the best person, you are the best leader, you will just be doing that. Why are we talking about this? Because there have been leaders like Sako and Ayaba and all these people, Akwanga, who say that they are the number one leader in the world. They cannot take from people who just, especially when it comes to Ayaba and Akwanga, they said they have been there long ago. So they cannot come and succumb under the interim government or under any leadership. Okay. But when you have that kind of mentality, you cannot lead a country like that. You cannot. When you have that kind of mentality that you don't want to follow too, you only want to lead. Yeah. Most of the independent movement were people who started something, then they handed to the younger generation. Okay. In South Africa, Mandela did not start apartheid. Mandela was of the youth wing. Okay. When the other people started, Mandela went to prison, right? And even when Mandela came out, they were the youth wing of the ANC. Yes, the African National Congress, they were the youth wing. But who finished the journey with the younger generation of the ANC? It was not those adults who started the apartheid movement. You see, so when you start something, the best thing that you can do is to hand over power, the baton of power, to the younger generation. But when you stay there, you say you started this thing, you must earn it, and you are still using the same old method of handling situations. You are still trying to do that old thing, or one-man soldier. Then you are not really serious. You understand? If you look at someone like Sako, right, who, instead of you working with other leaders, you have been impeached and removed. First of all, the constitution is there, the parliament is there, everything is there. You don't respect them. You go and create your own thing, create this, create that, create this, gather some few people, you say that's your own government. Then you don't respect the institution, right? You took the interim government to court. This guy, I mean, you see, how do you take Ambazonia people to court? When you go to court, you do not even win the case. These are things that, why not still have coalition? Coalition doesn't mean that you will leave your group, you will leave your days, you know. The worst man that do not want coalition is Sako. It means that we can respect these leaders. We call them leaders because they are there. They have been there. They still have their groups. They still have influence, right? Yes, we respect them. Nobody will take that title from them. Okay, Siseko will ever remain respected leader. No matter what, he's a leader. He did his own thing. He's there. He's still working for the struggle. But if they are refusing to collaborate, to have a coalition, they are not helping the struggle. They are not helping the struggle because they don't have the capability of handling this struggle by themselves. They don't have. Nobody has that capability. And for the past 7 years, we have learned that no one group, even the interim government, cannot run this thing by themselves, because there's a lot of roles and responsibility that need to be shared. Okay, then we see a lot of expertise in different groups that can be handled, right? And when you do that, you help relieve yourself from too much work. Of course, everybody in this struggle is a volunteer. So I don't know why people are fighting for. This is the only job that I see people fighting to volunteer. We're all volunteering. Nobody earns a salary. Be you president, secretary. The only person that I know that was making salary was Sako. And before Seseko was also having salary. But after then, I don't know anybody that was having salary as a president. President Chris doesn't have salary. Iya Marianta never had salary. Okay, these groups, NCNC, all this SCAPO, all this group, Republic of Ambazonia, all this other group, nobody has salary. So why are you fighting among yourself? Is the mindset, is the willingness to help your people. When you have that mindset, I don't see you be fighting with anybody. Okay, the mindset that you bring matters. When you have that mindset to come and help your people out of this carnage, you won't fight with anybody, because is you bring yourself, you know what you're fighting for, right? We are fighting for the future generation. We are not fighting for ourselves. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you have group, it doesn't matter whether you are under a president, it doesn't matter. Those things don't matter in this struggle, because tomorrow the people that will be there is not even any of us. This fight is for the younger generation. If we don't know, we have to have that mindset. But when you have that mindset that is you want to be you, anything must come through you, any decision making must come to you, all the activities you want to, now you want to run it, you want to, boy, oh boy, we are failing. We have learned a lot. Look at someone like who is that? Choyaba, right? The fact that you have that mindset that it must be you or nothing but you, right? For the past 7 years, remember, Seseko had a meeting, one-on-one meeting with Ayabacho to join the interim government as the minister and the secretary of defense. So if you know that, yes, you want to join that coalition system, right, you can still have your group. Okay, when you see these political parties like the one we have in La Republic, right, it doesn't mean that if Bia appoints you as an SDF man, then you lost your party affiliation. You don't lose your party affiliation when you join the government. It's a coalition. Okay, parties do that all the time, right? They appoint people from other parties to join the government and all those things. But that doesn't mean that you lose your partisanship, right? But that's the idea of some of these leaders. They don't want to join coalition. They don't want to have anything to do with other groups, because they don't want to align themselves with other groups. Come on, we are all fighting for the struggle, the same struggle. If we have the same goal, the same ambition, we have the same mission, why are you afraid to join with your other leaders to form a coalition and do something for the struggle? And it's something that these groups cannot do. We have tested this group. They cannot do anything. For 7 years, Comrade Chris is the first person to have something meaningful in the Foreign Affairs Department. Yes, the first groups did nothing in the Foreign Affairs. Nothing. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade. Okay, all these groups that are ranting, going back and forth, making that note, they did nothing in the Foreign Affairs Department. Let's be honest, right? We have to say what it is. Okay, today you see people trying to blackmail, do all this kind of thing. You see someone like Ucheba Nelson. He has been a very staunch supporter of Sako, right? But today he said he is tired of that kind of partisanship where somebody is not doing something, you are not doing anything, but people just support you because you're a leader. Then they say you Sako Tiboya. Comrade UN is trying to expose all those things, that Sako is from Fako. Sako is from Fako. His county is there, very quiet. You claim to be the president, but your county is as quiet as day and night. Nothing is happening there. When you have a president that is running a movement, but your own county that you're coming from, there is nothing happening there. But you claim to try to control other people's counties. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Show example in your county first. Show example in your county. Because during the time of the Nations Cup, what happened in Fako made us to understand that someone like Sako don't want anything to happen there. Because Nation Cup was happening in Victoria and Limbe, there was all those opportunities that we had to tell Africa that there's something going on there, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. Fako was as quiet as day and night. Quiet. During the Nation Cup, when all Africa was looking at Ambazonia, all Africa, the eyes were they were playing Nations Cup. Imagine that we would have tell the world that this is our grievances, but nothing happened in Fako. So you see, those are the things that when you take it and measure it, you ask yourself, what is going on in this? You see, people take pride in having those names. Okay, they take pride in having big titles, big names, but they cannot do anything with those names. That's what we have learned along the years, that most of these people that like these titles, these chairmen and all these titles, CIC, blah blah blah, they don't know anything about leadership. And we have already known all those type of people, because they will rush to get those titles and positions, then they just sit on it. Nothing they are doing. When we see this coalition of all these governments and all this, it's not because the government cannot do something, right? It's because the government know that when they have that kind of coalition, it helps them to give power to other agencies, right? But it doesn't mean that the government cannot do it. The government can do it, right? But when you give those other agencies those responsibilities, you lessen your own burden, right? If you take, for example, the American government, there are many agencies that are parastatal agencies, that are not government agencies, but are the one doing the work of, for example, in immigration in America, it's not the government that is even doing fingerprint. They are all agencies that are working with the government that do fingerprint. There are agencies that are working, that are doing passport. American passport is not done by like the government per se. No, there are agencies that take those different responsibilities and they do it for the government. Okay, so when you go into those details, you see even medical checkup for immigration, for example, it's not done by the government hospitals. No, there are doctors that will send you. They'll give you a list of like 50 doctors to go and do your medical checkup. Because the government cannot take all those responsibilities and do them by themselves. You give shared responsibilities, share them, and you see how this agency will take this one, this one will take this one. It's the same thing we are talking about here. Coalition doesn't mean that they will take out the name of your group, your beloved group. Nobody will take your group from you. You stay in your group. Whether it's whatever you call your group, stay there. But come in a coalition of the willing. Those groups that we identify first, we identify you as a group that want the total separation, total independence of the people of Southern Cameroon and Bazonia. Good and fine. Any group that identify himself like that, we are willing to work with that group, because those are the group that we want to talk about, that are ready, right? That are ready to work as a team. Okay. If somebody like you tell somebody today like Ayaba never wanted to work with Seseko, even not as a member of the parliament, right? But he never wanted to work with Seseko. He never wanted to work, even when Sako came to power, he never wanted to work with Sako. Okay. Then even when they went to the Swiss-led negotiation, if you ask Dr. Ayaba today that why did he take part in the Swiss process, but preferred to take part in Canada? The excuse that he gave with people like Jomba Akuro of the consortium, they said La République is not committed, so they don't want to commit to the Swiss-led negotiation because La République is not committed. How does La République's commitment got to do with you people's commitment to the first? You people have to come together as representing Ambazonia. You are not representing AGOFC. You are not representing you are representing Ambazonian people. Okay, so you either go and represent Ambazonian people, or you don't go there. They cannot have your group to talk to on behalf of Ambazonian people. They don't want to join a coalition so that you guys will have a team and one voice. That's what most diplomats will tell us. One voice. You cannot go here and say this, go here and say this, go here and say this. Then you say you are talking about Ambazonia. You make Ambazonian people are confused, right? The Ambazonian people, they are confused that these people, are they really serious? Do you really represent us? When you see somebody like Ayaba, where he wants to be a one-man soldier, all what he's trying to say is, I'll conquer them, I'll conquer. You are conquering who are you conquering? The same people you want to help, the same people you want to help to come out from Bia's conquership, you still want to conquer them? Is that not controversial? You want to save the people from Bia's Armageddon, Bia's dictatorship, Bia's exploitation, Bia's neo-colonization. You instead come now, everything that is negative in the struggle is only crown on your head. Distortion and through that aspect that you claim that you want to advance the liberation struggle. Instead of implementing those things that are good, you are instead known for kidnapping, extortion, and all those things, collecting what we call liberation taxes. You alone, we all know this. You went to London to discuss about oil for Ambazonia. You alone, one man soldier. So these are the things that we have to condemn. If you see something that is bad, condemn it. Don't be making your mouth going left. Say it as it is, because if you don't say it, tomorrow you be the one to blame. Okay. When you see the act that ADF are committing, these beheadings, these shooting in public, mass execution, public execution, you have to condemn it. That is not who we are. We are not used to that kind of gruesome killing of civilians. Okay, we are running away from La République's atrocities, all these killings, right? But you still do the same thing that you're running from. How do you want to gain the trust of the people by doing that? When you order the the killing of innocent civilian, when you do all these things, you don't want collaboration. You say you don't want government, but your own organization is called governing council. You are governing, then you are the president of that governing council. You have changed your name from CIC, commander in chief, to president, but you don't want to respect other president and the government that was there, that you were invited to come and join. That is hypocrisy. Call it as it is. Call it as it is. So we are saying all this because we want you guys to understand that coalition of the willing should be something that is very, very easy. And when you see leaders today trying to do all these things, the followers of these groups talk as normal thing, but the leaders cannot talk. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have issue making call to Ochoba Nelson. I don't have issue making call to anybody. I don't have issue making call to ADF or EGOFC members. I don't have any issue with that. I have in my state here. I have many members. Some members who are from ADF, some members who are from Sako side. We discuss. We have fun. But if the people who are there can talk, but the leaders cannot talk, there is a problem. Because you see, even on the 1st of October, most of the marches, do you see somebody say, I'm ADF, I am this, on the 1st of October? You saw the march in Washington, D.C. Did somebody say, hold the flag that I'm ADF, I'm Sako, I am this? No. You saw President Chris Anu there marching with the people. But there are leaders who will not even attend anything that is joint. They want to be stand-alone people. Sako has never been in that in that match. He has never joined the people in the never. They want to be things on their own. They want to do stuff by themselves. They want to make sure that they are the one to control things. Okay, but that has not worked, and it will not work. Okay, any meaningful coalition, any meaningful something will be done by putting all this leadership together, putting all this our interim constitution together, putting a transitional leadership together, making everything that can facilitate our struggle. Coalition doesn't mean that people will leave their groups. No, that's not a coalition that we are talking about. That's not the collaboration we are talking about. Okay, having a coalition will not make you leave your group. I know there are people who are they so love their group, they so love their leaders. I mean, this kind of love, but have love too for the vision of the struggle. If you have love for your leader and your group, but they don't see ahead, then you are not in the struggle, because you have to look ahead. Try to see if this group and this group join this interim government, do this, how easy it can be. Sharing of responsibilities. This group will take in charge of humanitarian affairs. This group will take in charge of, we can trust some group will say, okay, you are in charge of defense in this area, you are in charge of diplomacy in North America, you are in charge of diplomacy in Europe, so that we can sit down. When we sit down now, we start assessing these groups. Okay, you were in charge of humanitarian affairs, taking care of the refugees. You were in charge. This other group is in charge of taking care of the prisoners, taking care of the farmers who are having wounds. The wounded soldier. So we will make it such a way that it will be easy, so that this group will not come and be telling us stories I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Okay, give me your content and do, because these groups are not being audited. Okay, any environment that you are that there's no accountability is not doing anything that is good for the struggle, because you can't have groups that will stay for 5 years. No group, no auditors will come and audit that group. How much money did you collect? How did you use that money? How do you file your taxes? Right? Those are things that are important. And when we hire a lobby now, that will help us to follow up in all these things, doing things that are legal in those countries that we are. Right? You remember, so some of our fellows went to prison. Some of our fellows went to prison in America because they did things that were illegal or unlawful, as we can say. All right, but when you do things, try and check on are the laws guiding what you're doing. Okay, not to enter into trouble, because you know someone like Mangan, she had the heart of the struggle, right? We love her commitment, we love her desire to see our country free, but that desire moved you to somewhere that to do things that is not in line with the country that you are. Okay, and breaking the law is not an excuse. If you break the law of any country, ignorance of that law does not free you. So when we are carrying out our activities, we have to stay in line with the laws of that country. And we are doing, when we say we are hiring a law firm or we are hiring a lobbyist, people don't know why. They say, because there are many things that happened in the past 7 years that had we known, this struggle would have moved with a geometric progression. Now we are just moving in arithmetical progression. This struggle would have propelled faster than what we have today, because there are things that we would have known earlier and would have gone ahead of time. But because La Republic was very smart, La Republic still have their lobbies here. You still know the one they call the Nsala law firm. He's still here with them. The Nsala law firm, anything that happened to any Ambazonian in America, the Nsala law firm is the first person to publish them. Then put his name there. You saw the one of Eric Tato. Nsala law firm picked that one. I don't know. He's just waiting for any Ambazonian to fall to get trapped in the law. They will take your name, pop, and publish it. Nsala law firm. they don't even know the crux of the matter of that case, but they will take it, pop, publish it, so that La Republic is going to be paying them, because La Republic is paying them as a law firm for them, right? So we are saying that we want to stay in the annals of the law. Okay, we have made a lot of mistakes in the past because we're not guided by lobbies and law firms like this one. And when we want to start doing that, people say, oh, yeah, that is a scam. They did not register this, they did not. Come on, Massa. I said it in one of my shows that do you people know who wrote the Amazonian anthem? Do you even know? Do you know the person? Or you, okay, now that you are singing that Amazonian anthem, do you care to know who will write it? Who wrote that anthem? Or you care to sing the anthem because it's so sweet now? Think of it. This struggle is a generational thing. It's not so this our generation, we are not even sure to liberate Amazonia if care is not taken, because of the attitude of some of these leaders. We're not sure. So think of it. The next generation will come. There are many things that we are doing today that the next generation will pick it from there. But we think that no, we are not doing anything. No, we are doing a lot of things today. We know that the next generation will come and pick it from where we left. Okay. Today, the NCNC today that was created in 1995, the NCNC is still the one helping people with their asylum cases today. Yes, the NCNC. Why? But that was an organization that was created by somebody. But it's the organization that is helping people till today, right? Do you want to go and ask who created NCNC? Or you just go and take your asylum document and go quiet? Or you see, so this thing is not about who does something. And that's the problem that most of these leaders have. They say, imagine, Comrade Chris, let me tell you this, Comrade Chris was the one that initiated the Swiss-led negotiation. But do you know that today? No, you don't care, right? Let me not talk about the TV station that we have today. SCBC was created by Comrade Chris, right? ABC created by Comrade Chris. We have now the ABS TV created by Comrade Chris. But there are people who are using those TV stations today. Are you going to stop watching those TV stations because it was created by Comrade Chris? Right? So sometimes let's learn to appreciate what people are doing. Because if you want to know the name of the person that started something, you lost track of many opportunities that we have had. That is why today I'm still saying this. We lost the Swiss-led negotiation because of the flimsy nature of some leaders. The Swiss-led negotiation would have been very strong and upgoing today. But because some leaders said it's not, they will not go with something that was initiated by Comrade Chris and Sako back then. No, they can't join those people. They want to go and have their own talk. Those people who rush to Canada, you know them already. They did not go to Switzerland. But when Latfobi say they are, how can you abandon an ongoing process? That's what Latfobi did. They are rushing to Canada. Then those leaders now, they run to Canada. What happened in Canada? It was a scam. Canada was a scam, that's all. I don't even want to talk about it. It was a scam. Because Latfobi wanted to, the only thing that Latfobi wanted to do is to downplay the Swiss-led negotiation and instead go to Canada. Then all those leaders that did not go to Switzerland were the first people to go and rush to Canada. And they were the one to call themselves the Big Fours or the Big Five and all those garbage kind of names that they were giving themselves. Why? What for? Big Five. You have not you have not done anything in the struggle. Tico drink Kumbadron. There are people who are working so hard in this struggle. You go and run to Canada and put in the Big Four, the Big Four. Come on. What for? And La Republic did the best thing that they can ever do. They just wrote that Rene Sadi just wrote a communique that they did not even start any Canada talk. See how it ended. Very shameful. But the Switzerland government started this process like they have done in Sudan, like they did in Eritrea. Switzerland government has that track record. So when you want to do something, try to understand. Today, this same lobby that we are working with today, it has more than 5 countries that we can be verified that they have helped or they have worked with. You see, in America, we believe in resume. Resume means that the summary of what you have done. We believe in that, and that when you want to have a job, they'll say send your resume, send your CV. Some people call it CV, right? Send your CV. We go through your CV. When we go through your curriculum vitae, we can tell, okay, you did this and this. This lobby that we have today has a very good track record. Compare it with the Foley Hawk that Seseko hired and Sako took over from that Foley Hawk, and till today they did nothing. Nothing. It was a scam. The Foley Hawk did nothing totally. That's why we regret spending that much money, more than $90,000 on that Foley Hawk. But today we have not spent even 1/3 of that money that we spent to Foley Hawk to this new law firm. They see what they have started doing already. So you can understand where we are saying misappropriation, mishandling of state money and all those things. You can understand where our grievances is coming from, where somebody who had enough money to handle things did not use that money judiciously, taking monies to go and play poker and bitcoins. So we understand that mismanagement and misappropriation of our money. So when we talk, know that we were there up front. We know what was happening. We're not talking because we hate somebody. Nobody hate anybody in this trouble. Nobody. We are saying what happened, and if you don't like it, that's your problem. But that's what happened. Yes, that's what happened. So we're just being honest, okay? And honesty is the best thing, because if you're not honest with yourself, your mind will judge you yourself. We are just being honest. A lot of things have happened in this trouble, okay? Yeah. Now we have our brother Ayabacho, who went and had this coalition with the Nandi Kanu, and he had the other one with Simon Ekpa. Okay, but do you know that we have been talking of referendum all this while? We have been talking of how we can end this struggle, because we can't only thinking of how to fight. We have to have the mindset of, okay, if we are in a position of negotiation, what can be our own outcome, or what can be our own suggestion? Referendum has always been something that we have tried to cogitate. We have pondered over it for so long about that, how we can use referendum as a point of negotiation. Because in the negotiation process, is you can't just go to negotiation that you say, oh, you can win like public like that. They too have their own lawyers coming there and sit. So negotiation is not easy as we think. But you must have something that bargain, okay? And we have looked at going round and round. We have seen that a referendum is the best bargain we can have. No matter what you think, no matter how it happened, any crisis ends at the negotiation table. But when somebody like Ayaba does not side with referendum, right? But the title of the recent conference, the Biafran conference, was how about referendum? That's the title. So, but someone like Ayaba, someone like Sako, they don't want referendum. Sako said he preferred what I call a plebiscite. Man, that is. I'm like, wait, you prefer plebiscite? You don't? Okay, what's the difference between plebiscite and a referendum? We are striving for referendum. You are talking of plebiscite. But we are saying that a referendum is the argument. Is the argument that we are trying to bring forth. Because you can talk about plebiscite, you can talk about all those. But in 1972, the international community knew that we joined these people through a referendum. We did not join these people through a plebiscite. Okay, those are the two different things. When it comes to the referendum argument, right? We are putting that in front because we know that no international community, no country will ever reject a referendum. Okay. Let's look at how does Sako sees a referendum. Okay, his own way of looking at referendum. Let me read it for you. Okay, if what we must now ask for is a referendum, it means we are prepared for an indefinite ceasefire. One, he mentioned ceasefire, right? That is his own point. Ceasefire. Okay, he said because a referendum cannot be organized amidst flying bullets. That is another point, that a referendum cannot be organized amidst flying bullets. Okay, that's why Sako does not support referendum, right? Okay, you can't propose a referendum and tell your opponents you will not cease fire. That is his argument about referendum. Why he doesn't want referendum. Okay, he said to those Ambazonians who think a ceasefire is not a big deal, you should know that to the French and La République du Cameroon, it will be an opportunity to systematically disarm Ambazonian combatants and impose their social status, their special status for a one Cameroon. That was the case in the Western Sahara. That is his own take on referendum. Okay, now I want to go in his first argument about ceasefire. Okay, ceasefire doesn't mean that any single soldier, let me put it clear, any single resolution fighter, any single freedom fighter will ever drop one of their arm or their weapon. No, one day. That's not what ceasefire means. Ceasefire, the name itself tells you now, Masa. What kind of grammar are we trying to bring here now? Cease fire. It means that you are not shooting any bullet, but you don't drop. Ceasefire, there's no ceasefire that you know that will say drop your weapon, and they never. Ceasefire, there are many types of ceasefire. Ceasefire can be for humanitarian purpose, right? It means that both sides are not shooting, there is no bullet passing. No. Okay? But it has nothing to do with dropping of arms, like he mentioned there. It has nothing to do with that. Because a ceasefire can happen when maybe there are many casualties, right? Then you have the Red Cross, or you have the medical people. You have a lot of these people who are doctors, nurses. They'll go there to help to evacuate the wounded. They can call for a ceasefire. You remember the last time that the United Nations called for a ceasefire during the COVID time, right? That's also a ceasefire. But did somebody go and take the material from the voices in the bushes, as Atangaji said? Nobody took it, right? They are still sleeping with their material. It's a ceasefire. The ceasefire will have a time limit. Okay, what is the time limit of that ceasefire? The ceasefire will have that time. Okay, this is the time for the ceasefire. This is what we want. This is what. So the idea that a referendum will bring a ceasefire, then the ceasefire means that they want to disarm the voices. No, I said no. Do you think the ceasefire means that they will disarm the La Republic soldiers? No, La Republic soldiers will only leave the war zone. They will go back to La Republic first. They will do what we call the buffer. Buffer zone means the United Nations will come bring their own peacekeeping forces. Those peacekeepers will come there in the way of helping facilitate the preparation of the referendum process. Okay, the referendum doesn't take 1 year, 2 years. No, it takes like 3 years or more. So it's a process. So you can't say they will be disarmed. No, nobody is dropping down their material. No, it's just to facilitate the ground, to make a level ground for the conduction of the referendum. Okay, and we have seen that the mistake that our parents did in the past referendum was to abandon all the preparation, the organization to La Republic. But we are saying that we want an internationally supervised referendum. It's not just a referendum, it's internationally supervised. And if that condition is not met, because we are giving our own condition, it's not about a referendum happening like that, like what Sako is saying. Okay, it's not about like that. He mentioned about flying bullets. Okay, a referendum cannot be organized when they're still fighting. True, but does that mean that our ceasefire means that our freedom fighters are gonna drop their material? No, nobody drops their material. Anybody keep their material for eventuality. So that idea that Sako is saying that it will lead to the ceasefire, and talking of to those Ambazonians who think a ceasefire is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Okay, it's not a big deal. Ceasefire, there are, like I said, there are many types of ceasefire. Many different types of ceasefire. It's not ceasefire. When you say ceasefire, you have to define the purpose why they are ceasing fire. Okay, the purpose is to conduct a referendum, but it doesn't mean that if we are not happy with the outcome, or if there is what happened in 1972, right, where they went and put we and yes. Come on now, who's going to accept that kind of thing at this age? Our parents accepted because they did not have their freedom fighters. Okay, we cannot make a mistake to allow a we and a yes thing happen at this era. Lies. We cannot allow that nonsense. We cannot. So when we have that kind of thing happening, we will tell them that no. That's why we want an internationally supervised, because if the United Nations come, first of all, the ground will be settled. La Republic soldiers, you will not be afraid if you want to go and vote. You are looking if La Republic soldier is around you. No. All La Republic soldiers are going back to out. They are packing out of Amazonia. Okay. The referendum will be conducted. There will be that serenity. That is the meaning of that ceasefire at that time. That ceasefire will only be for that period to organize that referendum. That referendum will be conducted. Then everything goes back. Once the referendum is in favor of our everything goes back, right? The United Nations will have a transitional government that will help to facilitate a new government in Amazonia. That is it. So I don't know why people are fighting one another. This group is fighting this one is fighting this, when you don't even know who is going to be in Boya at that time. You are fighting among yourself. You don't want coalition. You don't want referendum. You don't want to go for negotiation. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. What are you fighting for? Tomorrow, Comrade Chris is coming to give us a very powerful speech on his idea of coalition, what the leaders that he want to coalesce with, right? That coalition of the meaning. Tomorrow it will be live on ABS TV, and I'll be live tomorrow. I'll start the show in the at 7 p.m. Amber time, while Comrade Chris will have his speech at 8 p.m. Amber time. So I'll be live tomorrow on ABS TV. We'll have that show before the speech for tomorrow. So the speech will be at 8 p.m. Amber time. We'll start our show at 7 p.m. Amber time on ABS TV. So please stay live tomorrow. It will be wonderful. We'll have a very powerful panelist coming tomorrow on ABS TV. So please don't forget, tomorrow we'll have a wonderful show, and please stay blessed, and let's have something for tomorrow, okay? And let's continue the struggle.